Have you ever set up a fish tank and wanted to add fish the very same day? Well, today I'm going to show you 3 tips on how you can one day instant cycle any freshwater aquarium. Coming up. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Before we get started, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button and ding that little notification bell so you know the next time I upload a new video. I am Kendall Water, and you are watching Otter Creek Aquatics. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Kendall, dude, this cannot be done. You gotta have the nitrogen cycle and all the good beneficial bacteria to be able to take care of all that ammonia that the fish are producing. Well, guess what? I've done it. I've done it multiple times. This method works, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can add fish the very same day. For tip number 1, we're going to be looking at an already established hang-on back filter, or you could also use a canister filter, and this works much better and much easier if you already have an already established aquarium with one of these filters on it. So what you're going to want to do is go to your hang-on back or canister filter and grab out any kind of sponge material that you have. If you have like a little block like this, or maybe a little bit bigger block, but you can see all the nastiness on it. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to bring it over to our new aquarium, put it down inside, and literally squeeze all of that nastiness out. And you'll see the tank actually start to cloud up. And then what you're going to do is just drop it in there. And how do I know that this works? Well, I actually just done it on this tank. I needed a quick setup for my sick green phantom pleco, and I did the same exact thing. The next thing you're going to do is just replace this with a brand new sponge. Now I already know what you're going to ask next. Now won't that take away beneficial bacteria from your already established tank? Yes, just a tiny bit, enough to be able to take care of that tank and the couple fish that you're going to be adding for quarantine or just maybe a new setup. But you have so much beneficial bacteria that lives all over everything in this tank that little beneficial bacteria that is in that sponge, this tank will never miss it. For tip number 2, we're going to be looking at sponge filters. Now my first advice would be always have extra sponge filters on hand. Not only do sponge filters clog up eventually, but you can do what I'm doing right here and setting your extra sponge filters in your tanks so that they're already gaining beneficial bacteria. And when you go to set up that new tank, I would suggest pulling out the sponge filters that are already running, because they are more than likely going to have the most beneficial bacteria, and replace it with the fairly new ones. Now your tanks aren't going to suffer from this because, like I said in tip number 1, the entire tank has beneficial bacteria in it. All this surface area is growing beneficial bacteria. So tip number 2, always have extra sponge filters in your tanks already gathering beneficial bacteria. So for tip number 3, I suggest getting a small hang-on back filter. And here I'm using an Aqueon 20. Right now it is on my 29 gallon Otter Creek Mutt Guppy breeding tank that you've seen in my earlier videos. And what makes this hang-on back filter so special is that it's small enough to where it's not overpowering smaller tanks, and it can also help out bigger tanks when I set them up. So when I set up a brand new tank, I automatically take this Aqueon 20 and add it to my brand new tank. What that does, it automatically starts that tank out with beneficial bacteria so I can add fish right away. How I have this hang-on back filter set up, I have bio rings, and underneath the bio rings I have sponge like I showed in my tip number 1. And the other good thing is when I'm not utilizing it on a new setup, I bring it back to the 29 gallon to help keep this water clear and also keep this filter in cycle. So just to give you guys an example, I have this brand new 10 gallon tank that's getting ready to be set up on my breeding rack. Yes, this is a brand new tank. It's got brand new gravel and brand new spider wood that you guys seen me pull out of my October My Aquarium box unboxing. So how am I going to quick cycle this tank? Well, I'm going to use that Aqueon 20. I'm going to pull it off the 29 gallon when I get dechlorinated water in here, get it up to temperature. I'm going to put that hang-on back filter on here, and that's going to carry enough beneficial bacteria to handle the few fish that I'm going to be putting in here to start out. And also, I'm going to be taking one of my already established sponge filters and adding it to this tank as well. So now I'm double dutying my quick cycle, and that's just adding really good beneficial bacteria to your newly set up tank. So what can you do if you don't already have an established aquarium to get your cycle filter media? If you have a buddy that already has a fish tank, go over and ask them if you can have their dirty sponge. They'll more than likely give it to you, especially if you'll tell them you'll replace it. The second thing you can do, go talk to your local fish store. They'll be ecstatic to help you get started cycling your first aquarium. The third thing you can do, try and find a local fish club. Local fish clubs are full of hobbyists like myself that are trying to get other people in the hobby and especially help people grow. They will 100% help you with that cycle filter media. Thank you for joining me episode number 5 of Tuesday Tips for a Healthier Fish Room. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are down below about these 3 tips that I just gave you. Are you guys doing anything differently to quick cycle a tank? Please let me know down in the comments. If this video helped you in any way, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ding that little notification bell so you know the next time I upload a new video. And until next time, everybody, see ya!